first, one caveat that I just want to give you before I say anything, which is that we are going to focus a lot over the next couple of days on using the web as an investigative tool. What I want to be really careful to say, though, is that most even of what you find on the internet is it's a tip machine. It's not source material in many cases. You've got to be really careful. So when we show you how to background people, or when we talk about going places to get information, in many of those cases, it's no different than if you called a source and asked a question. You know, you wouldn't just automatically throw it in the paper necessarily. You would make some calls, you'd check it out. Same thing for the internet. It can be an amazing reporting tool, and you can also get yourself into tons of trouble if you're not careful. So I just wanted to, I'll try to remember to say that periodically, but people always ask us about that down the road. Well, would you just put that in the paper? Well no. I would actually make a phone call or talk to an actual human being. So just keep that in mind. A few things to think about before you start going online to do any kind of research is that it's really important to be prepared before you even sit down at the keyboard, or you can waste a ton of time. Just to give you a quick example, we used to do at our conference, we don't do this anymore, but we used to have this session where we'd get 3 of the best research librarians from newspapers around the country, and we'd sit them up there on a panel, and they'd all be sitting there ready to go, and it was going to be this contest where they'd be given a subject and they'd be timed, and we'd see who could find the most stuff, right, in the shortest period of time, because this is what IRE people do for excitement. It's what it is. So what they'd do, would be they'd get their topic ready, go. And then nobody went right to the computer. These people who were online research librarians would grab a legal pad and a pen. And before they started online, they'd start writing down things like keywords and what are they looking for. And the idea was even the best internet researchers in the business don't just go online. It's important to think about what you're looking for and have some kind of strategy before you start. Because otherwise, you'll end up in this situation that we've probably all been in, where you go online and you start searching for something, and then something else pops up that looks kind of cool, and then you go to that site, and this looks kind of interesting, and before you know it, that it's getting darker outside, there's a little line of drool coming down your chin, and you've lost most of the day, and your eyes have glazed over. So you've got to be really careful about how you use your time when you're online. So know what you're after, know what you're looking for. Think of the key words that are most likely to come up when you're searching for something. Write those down and then use them. Set a time limit. If you're doing it for a daily story, that might be 15 minutes. If you're doing it for something which is longer term or on your beat, it might be an hour. But set a time limit and stick with it, because it's a diminishing returns thing a lot of times online. And if you limit how long you think you can spend going in, you're much less likely to waste time. And then, as I was saying before, you've got to be skeptical. You don't just walk up on the street and have someone tell you something and go, oh, that's fantastic, and report it. The internet's the same thing, right? It's made by people. I know it's a computer, right? But it comes from people. So you have to be just as skeptical of stuff you find online as you would if you just went to the mall and started doing man-on-the-street stuff in some cases, right? You've got to be thoughtful about it.